What's up, guys? Today we're going to be looking at a giant Funko haul that just arrived for me. I got about 10 Funkos, actually 11, and I actually did get my first chase today, so that's pretty cool. I'll explain that in a little bit, but yeah, let's get into it. So first off, we got this new Ant-Man Funko from Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. It's pretty cool. I'm super excited for that movie. And I like how the figure looks, and I know the design of like the costume is a little controversial. A lot of people don't like it, but personally I think it looks fine. And I think it's a pretty cool looking Funko. Looking at Ant-Man out of box, this is a super detailed figure. I love the texture at the top of his helmet. You can kind of see some bumps there. It's pretty rough. I like his, how you can see his eyes through the lenses. And overall, I like the color scheme of the suit. The black and red looks super good. The accents of silver and everything. I think it looks awesome. It is a little over-designed, like there's a lot going on with the suit, but I think it's still super cool looking. Like I said, I really do love the texture at the top of the helmet and throughout the suit. Okay, next up we got Iron Man from Avengers Infinity War. I'm not sure if he's supposed to be that way in his box, but he is. Whatever. It's a pretty cool Funko, and there's actually two other Infinity War ones that kind of go with it that I got. So yeah, Infinity War is one of my favorite MCU movies. Probably my favorite MCU movie, right behind No Way Home, now that I think about it. But yeah, it's a pretty cool Funko. So looking at Iron Man, this isn't a super detailed Funko, but it is a still super cool one. I like how he has his nanotech ray gun kind of coming off his hand, and I like the overall look and design of the suit from Infinity War. I like his back wings that he has from nanotech. At his back, and yeah, not a lot going on, but it's still super cool Funko. Next up, we got Thor from Avengers Infinity War. He's got his new hammer Stormbreaker, his axe Stormbreaker. He's a pretty cool Funko. I would say Thor definitely peaked during Infinity War. That was definitely when he was the coolest, in my opinion. But yeah, let's look at this one out of box. So looking at Thor out of box, there's not a ton of detail on this figure, but he really doesn't need it. His suit is kind of plain for the most part. Stormbreaker is a little smaller than it should be. I like the scar across his eye and everything. His back does have some detail. If you look closely, you can kind of see like some armorish type stuff. And overall, I think it's a pretty cool figure. It would have been cool if he had a cape like he does in the movie, but overall, it's still a cool fig. Next up, we got Captain America from Avengers Infinity War. This is another cool Funko. I'm gonna put those three Infinity War ones together on display somewhere. Like I said, I like Infinity War a lot. I like all those characters in it and everything. But yeah, this is a super cool Captain America. Not my favorite Captain America, or even my favorite Captain America that I have, but it's still a cool one. Captain America doesn't have a lot of detail either. There's some detail on his back and everything. His stance is kind of, the generic old Funko stance where they would all be standing the same. He kind of has some cool damage on the front of his suit. But other than that, there's not a lot of stuff going on. It would have been cool to give him his Wakandan vibranium shields that he gets in Infinity War. That would have been cool. But like I said, not a ton of detail on this figure, but it's still a cool one. Next up, we got Punisher from Daredevil. I actually have not seen Daredevil Season 2, only Season 1. But I like Daredevil Season 1 a lot, and I like Punisher in the comics a lot. And from what I've seen, like clips of Season 2, Punisher looks pretty cool in that show, so I picked this Funko up. So with the Punisher figure, I like his black eye, and his gun is pretty cool. Not a lot of detail on the back, but he's really just wearing a trench coat, so there's not much detail you could add. I like the Punisher armor and logo on the front. That's super cool looking. And I kind of like his hair. It's kind of unique how it kind of fades. Kind of like a real sort of buzz cut would. But other than that, there's not a ton of detail. Nothing too interesting about this figure. It's more the character that it represents that really drew me to it. But yeah, it's still cool regardless. Next up, we got Michael Myers. This is kind of a random one, not usually the Funkos I get, but I really do like Michael Myers. He's one of my favorite horror icons. Definitely pretty cool character. Yeah, like I said, not usually what I get, but I still like it a lot. So Michael Myers doesn't have a ton of detail either, but he's still super cool looking. He looks way better than the old one. His coveralls are basically just regular coveralls. There's not really much going on. He's got a knife in his hand and kind of a blank expression with his eyes and his mask. But he's still a super cool figure, and I love Michael Myers as a character. Next up, we got Venom from Venom. Let There Be Carnage. I wasn't sure if this was from the first or the second movie. Yeah, this is a super cool Venom figure. It's actually one I've been looking for a while. And while this isn't my favorite adaptation of Venom, I do like how it looks with the veins on his body and everything. I think it's super cool. But yeah, let's keep going. Looking at Venom out of box, there's some really cool texture on his head. He has some cool white veins and lines going out throughout his body. It would have been cool if there was some on his arms and legs too, but I don't know if that's accurate to the movie. But like I said, the texture on his head is really cool. Not a lot of back detail besides the veins. It would have been cool if they had that texture throughout the figure. The face and tongue are pretty nice for Venom, and yeah, it's a pretty cool figure. Next up, from Justice League, from the theatrical cut, we got Superman. This is a AAA anime exclusive. While I don't like that version of Justice League by Joss Whedon, I do like this look of Superman. And I do like Henry Cavill's Superman, so I figured I'd pick this up since he's no longer going to be Superman. Kind of sucks, but yeah, this is a cool Funko. I'm glad I got it. Looking at Superman, he has, some pretty nice detail on the texture of his suit. You can't really tell from looking at the video, but in person, you really can tell. It's just like in the movie, the kind of bumpy texture of his suit. He's got a nice cape. His face is pretty similar to Shazam's that we'll see later, which I thought was kind of funny. But his Superman logo looks nice. Everything about this figure is pretty nice. I do like the chase better, obviously, with the laser eyes and everything. This is still a cool one. And fun fact, he is in the exact same pose as Zack Snyder's Superman with the black and silver suit. So that's kind of interesting. I wish they changed it up, but it is what it is. Next up, the most recent Funko is Mysterio. And when I say recent, I mean like to release. Most recently released Funko is Mysterio. This is an Entertainment Earth exclusive. Glows in the dark. It's probably gonna go like right up there with the Sinister Six, as you can kind of see. Yeah, that's probably where I'm gonna put him. So looking at Mysterio, he is kind of leaning back in a weird way. I thought that was kind of odd. I would have preferred if he was standing up straight, but he's kind of leaning a little bit. Not sure if that's my figure only or if that's the whole design of the figure. But I love the green smoke at the bottom of his feet. And his helmet is pretty cool. And overall, this is one of my favorite figures. And finally, the most expensive Funko of all of them, Anakin Skywalker with his dual lightsabers and Jedi braid. This is a super cool one, and while I don't like Attack of the Clones, when I saw this Funko, I loved it. It's super cool looking, and I definitely think it's going to go up in value as the years pass on. So I'm so glad that I got this one. This is definitely my favorite of all the ones I got. Looking at Anakin Skywalker, this is a super cool figure. I love his Jedi braids and hair's cool. I like his Jedi robes, and obviously his two lightsabers are super cool. I'm glad they're not too badly warped or bent. Like a lot of the times with lightsabers will kind of get in odd shapes for some reason, but these look great. And overall, this is one of the coolest figures of my haul today. And definitely, I'm super thankful that I was able to get him. And now, finally, we have my first ever chase, Shazam. Now, I actually ordered this one off the Hot Topic like a week ago using my Hot Cash. I just ordered the regular Shazam. I did not expect to get the chase, but I did. It's the first chase I've ever gotten. I'm not sure if I'll keep it in the box or not. I probably won't, just because I have more valuable ones that I haven't kept in the box. But I don't know, it's still super cool to get my first chase, and I'm definitely very thankful that I ended up ordering that one and that I was lucky enough to receive a chase. If you don't know, a chase is a special limited edition variation of the common Funko. So this is how he was supposed to look, kind of like this, kind of like this. He's supposed to look like this, but instead he looks like this. See, his eyes are a different color, he's got more gold, more yellow, and he glows in the dark too. So, yeah, that's super cool, and I'm so glad I got this one. And, yeah, let's show this one off out of box. So, looking at my first ever chase out of box, it is super cool looking. I like the details on the cape, and overall the armor is pretty cool that he wears. I do think the gold body looks better, but I do like the yellow eyes and everything. That's super cool. But yeah, this is super cool to get, and I'm so glad I got my first ever chase. And I didn't even expect to get him here. This was super cool because I ordered it online, so I didn't even find it in person. I just happened to receive the chase. So yeah, that's super lucky of me, and I'm so thankful. So with that, that is the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. It means the world to me. And yeah, like I said, thanks for watching. Peace out. Bye.